press the button. I'm gonna turn my mic off, okay?
Ooh.
Your life coach, say something.
Y'all, what's going on? Who I got on? Give me some check-ins, give me some comments. Let me know what's going on. We in the building now. Oh yeah. Let me turn this down over here, right here. These comments, if they pop up. Jamaica in the building. Who else? We got Clarissa Love in the building. We get to get on. Building, what's going on? Great day to do great things with great people, right? Miss Marcia in the building. What's up, Trayvon? What up? What up? What up? All right, y'all. We're gonna be getting to the order of business, man. We got a lot of stuff going on. Everybody knows we've been rocking from the workbook, right? What's going on, everybody? Hopefully, everybody's doing their thing. I'm gonna recap last week and this week, just to bring everybody up to speed. Make sure everybody is good, right? What's up, Gretchen Dawson? What's up, Shannon Lewis? Yeah, what's up, David Young? I see Jamaica, we in the building. We climbing now. Michael Smith, what up? Yep. Tasha Brinson, what's up? What's going on? Yep. I'm glad y'all can make it this evening. I'm gonna try to make this a regular. Try not to impose too much on your time, but we do want to get the critical work to you. All right, thanks for joining us, Coach Mike. Platinum Squad's in the building. All right, we do want to get the critical 20 to you, right? AJ3's in the building, great evening. All right, when we talk about the critical 20, right? We're gonna really get down to that in a minute, y'all. All right, that's on the second side. But we started this thing off, man, and first of all, you know, it's a 90-day challenge. And the thing that makes our 90-day challenge different is that we have the curriculum for the mindset. And you have to cultivate the mentality for success so that you understand the steps that you took to become successful. Because remember, the body will never go anywhere the mind doesn't tell it to go. And our objective is, and what we're trying to do is everyone needs to help make their mind and body become one. And this is a tough task, but the good thing about it is that we understand that repetition is what's going to breed that confidence, and that confidence is going to breed accomplishment, and that accomplishment is going to take us to empowerment. So in order for us to have intrinsic motivation, we always have to become empowered so that we're not always relying on an outside source. All right, what we're going to do is take everything we know, everything we do, we're going to combine it so that we can use it over and over and over again and give it away as well. All right. So with that being said, the curriculum that we're using is the 7 levels of discipline that manifest success. And even though we have 7 levels of discipline, we haven't even gotten to the first level of discipline yet, because we're talking about, our objective, which is success. So the first thing we wanted to do was define success. And what we did with everybody was we had everyone define success, because I have a quote in the beginning of the new workbook, which simply says, if you don't know what something looks like, you won't be able to tell it when you see it. All right. I'm about to say that again. If you don't know what something looks like, you won't be able to tell it when you see it. Hey, what's going on, Deja? What's going on, Kristen? What's going on, Joan? Tamika Vance? Um, did you hear what I said? If you don't know what something looks like, you won't be able to tell it when you see it. So the first thing you must do with anything is define it. All right. You want to have a clear definition of whatever it is, you're seeking looks like. And that way, when you actually find it, you know what it is, you know what it isn't, because some things are, they look like other things, but they're not. Like salt and sugar, they look just alike, right? You need to know what that stuff is, or else else you'll have high blood pressure, or yeah, or you'll be tasting too much sweet stuff. All right. So we asked a few things. When we asked to define it, we wanted people's definition of success. And for me, success was the progressive realization of a worthy idea or goal. And I'm just recapping the first week so that we can get you all up to speed, because a lot of us are going from week to week, and we do this in our life. We go from thing to thing, and we never really tackle that one thing. And I just wrote a description, man. I don't even want to go into all that stuff. But anyway, listen, you're going from thing to thing and not really mastering one of them, or not really doing all the work that it takes to do, to become, and to actually have. And that's part of when you define success. It's actually in here. So for me, my definition of success was the progressive realization of a worthy ideal or goal. And that's going to come back into play sooner than you think, y'all. So if you check out your screen right here, it simply says that quote that I was talking about. It says, if you don't know what something looks like, you won't be able to tell it when you see it. All right. And it's going to pop up there in a second. But I define success. And when I defined it, I simply said success was the progressive realization of a worthy idea or goal. Now, I also asked you guys, like, what things have to happen, in your life in order for you to know that or feel success. And for me, like I said, I had to become, I have to do, and I have to have fulfillment. Okay. Like, and we talked about fulfillment. Was it yesterday? I think we talked about fulfillment yesterday, but fulfillment has to be something that you recognize. Like, you have to know what that is, because sometimes you don't see tangible results. Sometimes you don't have a material indicator. Sometimes you don't have a receipt or a printout. Sometimes you don't have that thing that tells you're that you're doing it, or you're doing it good. And then sometimes those indicators or those things that you print out, they give you false readings, and they give you false hope. So you stop doing certain work because there's a certain number that you see now, and you believe that you have arrived. And me and Cody was talking about that, and I was explaining to him. I was like, listen, I don't want you looking for this outside indicator to tell you that you're having success. I said, what I want you to do is practice having fulfillment and letting that guide you in the direction in which you need to go. All right. Because some of us, we stop sometimes when the numbers are certain. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some of us been in a certain place in our life for quite some time, and we fall back on the fact that, we got our career, or we have a certain status, or we have a certain title, and we kind of don't push anymore, or we don't set these different goals and things like that. So for me, that fulfillment, comes from me cultivating all my abilities and my skills and my character, so that I know that I am the person, or growing into the person that I was intended to be. And that is never going to end. So it doesn't matter how old I get. It doesn't matter how many books I come out with. It doesn't matter how many contracts I get. It doesn't matter how many deals I sign. It doesn't matter how many people that come into the gym. It really doesn't matter about that. It matters about what my purpose is. It matters about what my definitions are, the things that I hold true to me, being who I am. All right. So, like, those things like you really had to do the first week in order for you to move on to the next week, y'all. Um, before we move on, I never gave you our because we didn't do this recap last week. I never gave you our success our success secret or our number one success for this week. So each week you'll have a success secret, right? And the number one secret for success, right, was to make change a must. So I have a line in one of my songs, all right, because y'all know those of you out there, you might be new, but I'm a recording artist. So listen, success secret number one is to make change a must. All right, make pain a must, make change a must, but through pain. All right. See, the pain of change, right? It has to be, look, the pain of staying the same has to be greater than the pain of change. See, a lot of us won't move forward and doing something else because we think that thing may be too painful. And that's because we haven't linked enough pain to our current situation. When you can link enough pain to where you are right now, right? And say, listen, this is not me. This is not who I was meant to be. And this is not how you'll remember me. Then you get the hell out of there, y'all. You hear what I said? So, like, I know people and I have friends that they come to me and they say, I want to move, right? They say, I want a new house, but they haven't linked enough pain to that situation yet because it's been a year or two and they still haven't moved. Sometimes they talk about that stuff and I see it's just their um, explicit beliefs, not their implicit beliefs. It's just the thing that they know to be that everybody is, if I say this, they're going to believe me because I say it enough. But when you have implicit beliefs, they actually drive your actions. You hear what I said? They drive your actions, man. And a lot of us, we're talking about what we believe, we're talking about what we want, but I can tell what's going on inside of you by what you do. All right. And you haven't become, look, you haven't linked enough pain to your current situation yet. So you haven't moved. Sometimes you're still trying to bandage up that old situation instead of moving out, instead of getting on with it. Some of us are, that want to move, we're renovating that old house. Some of us that want a new car, we went and bought some new wheels or some new tires for it. And we keep it a little bit longer because now we believe that it's a different car. It's a different situation. We didn't put any money into the engine. We just put something on the outside of it. And we really could have used that money that we used for the wheels, or even if the car keeps breaking down and we keep getting it fixed, we could have used that to get us a new car. But we didn't link enough pain to that situation yet because we don't really want to grow into the person that we need to be to sustain a new situation. Right? To get, to keep, to have, to grow, sustain, and give the new situation away. Man, that's all about becoming right there, y'all. So my success secret for the first chapter was simple. Make change a must. But remember, simple isn't always easy to do. You hear what I said? All right, good. Now we can go on to this week's order of operations, man. So this week we've been talking about goals. All right. And we've had some heavy affirmations this week on goals. All right. In just a second, I'm going to put those affirmations up there. But we've had some heavy affirmations, y'all, on goals. You hear what I said? I mean, we talked about being fully committed to achieving our goals. We talked about being worthy enough to follow our goals. We talked about being intentional with the goals that we set and the tasks that we work on. We talked about our drive, y'all, and our drive was critical. We talked about getting great fulfillment from achieving our goals, right? And we also talked about the power and ability that we had. Today was a kicker though, y'all. Today was, you know, every day I gotta work towards achieving my goal, man. And I'm just paraphrasing this stuff because it's what it takes to actually make it happen. So we had an affirmation that simply said, I take action toward my goals every day. You hear what I said? We said, I take action toward my goals every day. And sometimes on the weekend, we don't want to do it. Sometimes on the weekend, right? Or just certain days, we don't feel like doing it. Or on another level, we don't think that we have to do it. Or on another level, we don't believe we have to do it, right? These are like the 7 levels of discipline and manifest success. But somewhere along the way, we don't have that discipline to keep moving towards our action or towards the goal that we need to take to the action we need to take to achieve the goal. All right. So this weekend, I had a number of um, mitigating factors, outside factors that really could have set me back to the old me, got me that much closer to being the old me. And I went. First of all, I had some family members coming to town. Um, they brought their son down here to school because their son, which is my nephew, is going to North Carolina A&T State University, and they came down to help him move into school. And usually, when we have family in town and friends in town, we would go out to eat or we'll make some a bunch of food here and stuff like that. But listen, me and me and my brother Riz went to the grocery store and we bought all meat and all vegetables, y'all. We grilled all the vegetables on the grill and we ate we cooked the meat the way we needed to. And I felt great about that decision because each time I make a decision to move away from the old me, it makes it harder for me to go back to the old me. And every day I need to take these type of actions. So, in the midst of all that, I got a phone call from another one of my childhood friends. I call brothers from New Jersey, and they called me and they said, "Hey, listen, man, my son, he needs us. We need to get down there because his son is going to a junior college prep school in Charlotte, and they just dropped him off earlier this week. Early in the beginning of the week, and he hasn't even been there a full week yet. And he called and he's like, I want to come home. He called and he's like, football is not for me. He called and basically wanted to quit, right? So yesterday we take the trek down. I pick up a man from the airport in Raleigh, and then we drive all the way to Charlotte, and we go all the way down there to take him out to eat. And guess what, y'all? We wind up eating at Mertz. Now, some of you may know what Mertz is, right? Mertz is a soul food place. It's downtown Charlotte, right there in the heart of the town. And it's kind of like a staple where, you go there and you're like, yo, you got to have some of that soul food from Mertz and stuff like that. And here I am, right? And I got goals and I know what success looks like and I'm on it, y'all. Has anybody seen what I've done with my body in the last like 20 days or something like the last 20 something days? So I had a challenge with the fellas, and I've done and I had this 21-day challenge with the group. And check this out, y'all. Just look at the pictures real quick. Because next week we can have a call about exactly what I did, how I did it, when I did it, why I did it, all this type of stuff, right? But check this out. Look, in 18 days, I lost about it was about 18 pounds. I lost about 18 pounds in 18 days, y'all. And man, I was fully committed, man. And listen, my 21-day challenge was over on Saturday, I think the 1st of August. But here it is now, the 9th, and I have not given in. I have not wavered. I'm still on the diet. And I actually told myself, I said, usually what I do when I finish the challenge is I go cheat. But what I did this time was I said, you know what? I'm going to stick with it and stay with it to make it harder for me to go back to the old me, make it harder for me to cheat, make it harder for me to do the things that I usually and normally do, right? And I'm feeling great about what's going on because now this is the second weekend since I finished. And look, I met my goal. I exceeded it, right? And I still didn't pat myself on the back. I kept moving forward because now I'm stretching myself. All right. And this is the first thing that I want to talk to you about when we talk about goals. See, there's three types of goals that we set out there, and they're A type of goals, they're B type of goals, and C type of goals, right? See, A type goals are goals that we're comfortable with, goals that we achieved before, and we kind of know that we can achieve these goals. So we set these kind of goals all the time, and they don't really make us stretch into the person that we need to be to become somebody else, right? B type goals, they stretch you a little bit, and they're not far from the stuff that you've achieved before, but you kind of know you can do them. You just gotta buckle down a little bit more, and you get you get to it, and you get that one. But C type goals scare you, yo. They actually frighten you. They light a little fire inside of your belly, man. And like they stretch you so much that you don't know how you're going to do it. Look, you just know that it's going to get done. And those are the type of goals you actually have to set in order to stretch you so you can become the person you need to be, y'all. And C type goals are tough, man. They are super tough, and a lot of people look. They don't set them, but now it's not in your reach because your subconscious mind is already telling you that you're not worth that stuff. You remember those things we put up? You remember those affirmations we had this week? Remember the affirmations we told ourselves we were worthy of them, right? Well, if you're worthy of them, then you'll stretch yourself. You'll stretch yourself. So if you look at the affirmations, we have these for a reason. And in the beginning of the week, we told ourselves, listen, you have to be worthy enough to follow your goals and manifest your dreams, or it will never happen. So once I became intentional, and once I began, look, I had that drive that now I can command like my ship to go wherever, my car, my vehicle to go wherever I want to go and not stop until I'm fulfilled, because I know I have the power and ability. My power comes from choice. Do you hear what I said? Like the creator gave us dominion over our choice, y'all. We have the power of choice, and that choice every single day is going to help us move toward the goal when we make the right choice. That cultivates our ability and our skill to actually achieve it, y'all. So these things are super duper important when it comes to success and goals. All right. Now, I have to get to the subject at hand for tonight because it is goals. Oh, you know what? No, before I get to the actual principle that I'm going to break down, you guys had homework Saturday. After class, I asked everybody to write down 10 things, 10 goals that they wanted to achieve within the next 12 months, right? When I asked you to write down these goals, I said there's going to be one on the list, right? That would fundamentally change everything about your life if it was to come true tomorrow. So I wanted you to look at those 10 things and look at the one that would have the most positive, greatest impact on your life. That one goal, that's what I wanted you to look at, right? And I wanted you to take that goal and then write it down in the form of a question. And if you did that, then now I wanted you to answer that question 20 times, y'all. If you answer that question 20 times, then you would be like I was in 2018. I actually answered that question 20 times, and I came up with a bunch of goals, right? Came up with a bunch of things, but mine was, what were all things that I could do to become a millionaire by, a certain date, right? And I answered this question 20 times. But on that list, y'all, and this is what brings me to, this is why I wrote this in the workbook and why it was so important, y'all. On that list was online training. And online training was there because it was simple. Online training would allow AWOL Fitness to service the world. All right, the World Wide Web would now be, our market. It would be available to us to market to thousands and thousands and thousands and millions of people on the internet. So this was on the goal list. And that was something that really stretched me, right? But I didn't have my goals in the right priorities. All right. And today, success secret number two is the Pareto principle, y'all. All right, we're going to pull that up on the screen too. And the Pareto principle is the 20-80 rule. And we talked about this before, where we talked about how 20% of the right work or the right effort will equal 80% of the desired results. So when you focus on the critical 20%, you can get 80% of the results from that. All right. So just look at this for a second. Some of you don't have the workbook yet. This is some really, really dope stuff, right? So some of us, and we gave you a quote before from who was the quote from, y'all? It was the secret of, was it Einstein? And he said the secret to change was not focusing all your energy on the old, but taking it and focusing it on the new, right? So we figured out it was Socrates, okay? Yes, it was Socrates. And we figured out that the new that we needed to build was the internet structure, okay? And we should have focused on that 2 years ago, and then we would have been ready for the pandemic and everything like that. But the pandemic was a blessing in disguise because it made us focus on the critical 20%. It made us take our brick and mortar, which we were so focused on then, right? And take the brick and mortar and turn it into an online business in 7 days. So for 2.5 years, I procrastinated on doing online training. But when we made it a must, remember when I said that in the beginning? I said you had to make change a must, right? See, mitigating circumstances, outside circumstances, things that were out of our control, it made it so painful that it became a must that we created the online training. You see how it works here? Right? These are the principles at its finest. We made, well, not me, not we, but God, the creator, whoever sent this damn pandemic to us, right? It became a must for us. It didn't become a must for Gold's Gym. It didn't become a must for some of the other trainers out here. But this is what happened. We took action because we said, look, we still have a duty, obligation, and responsibility to look, to handle our service, right? So if we're all put here to serve, right? AWOL Fitness, look, we provide a service, right? So we wanted to keep our integrity and continue to serve the people that the creator has entrusted us with. So we continue to build on the principles of the first success secret, which was making change a must, and now the second success secret, which is focusing on the critical 20 rule. All right, now that I see all these numbers and they were coming in, the numbers were coming in, and there were 15,000 views on our website in the last 28 days, and we were looking at numbers, and we started to take our emotion out of the equation, and we said, yo, if we just convert 5% of those people, then we could grow our entire brick and mortar gym, or the amount of people that we have in the brick and mortar gym, by 100% in a few weeks. And it just made sense to continue to do the critical 20%. So now we're at a point where now we can just do digital marketing and advertise it so that we can continue to target more people and service more people. So the 20-80 rule is critical because remember, 20, PEMDAS, 20% of the right work, so you don't have to do rework. Look, it's now we're 2.5 years removed from where we should have been, right? We could have been doing the same type of stuff then if we'd have made it a must. So we didn't even follow the same principle. So what I'm trying to get everybody here to do in the challenge is to take your goal list, the 10 things that we wanted to achieve, right? And we took one thing out of that because that thing would fundamentally change our entire lives, right? It would have the greatest, most positive impact on our life. So we extracted that goal out because we said, listen, if we did this goal, all the other goals will fall in line with that. Like I actually have to do those things to achieve this goal. So let's put the big one up there because now I got to stretch to become that person right there. But then once we wrote down the 20 things, now we're going to Pareto principle the 20 things. We're going to take the top 4 or 5 things that we need to do, the 20%, the critical 20%, and we're going to focus on them in the order of operations that they need to be done so that one, they become comprehensive, right? One bounces off another, and bounces off another, y'all. Success secret number 2 is the Pareto principle. And remember, when you're doing this stuff in the right order, you're going to save yourself time, energy, and money. So if we were focusing on a brick and mortar at the time, then it wasn't going to get us to that ultimate goal, which was, remember, I wrote, what are all the things that I could do to become a millionaire by the time of such. Now, if you put the two next to each other, the internet and the brick and mortar, right? The brick and mortar actually has a fire code. Like you can only have, it has a capacity of amount of people that it can actually hold. So we can only train a certain amount of people at a certain amount of time each day in the building, right? But there's no fire capacity code on the internet. If we could create enough value, we could have 1 million people on this call until we crash it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now the limits go off. So remember, I tell you in my song, there are no limits on the universe. Only look, the limit is only placed on the form through which it flows. So if you could take the lid off, right? If you could take the lid off, then you can fill up as much as you want until it spills over. It fills up, it spills over to anything and everything that's around it. It's bound to touch anything. It's bound to get in anything. It's bound to affect anything around it if you can fill yourself up enough. And we talked about that in one of these affirmations. We said, in order for you to have success surround you, then you have to fill yourself up with success first. All right, and that came from your mindset. We talked about how you got to have first of all, you got to know it's your right. We talked about you knowing that success was your right, right? We talked about you knowing that being possessed with the success mindset. We talked about every day you waking up and dressing for success in mind, body, and spirit. And we weren't talking about outer garments. We were talking about the stuff that you were putting inside your mind, the stuff you were putting inside your body, the stuff that you're putting inside your, yo, listen, y'all, we said mind, body, and spirit, y'all. So when you put that, do me a favor, put that picture back up again. When we put the picture back up, I'm gonna show you how much I've showed up so that I could dress for success each day during this time in this period. And as I'm doing this, I'm being intentional about my goals. I'm being intentional about the things that I'm doing, right? So if you look at it, right, if you look at this picture, if you look at these pictures, this is 18 days worth of being intentional, of Pareto principle. This is 18 days of knowing that I'm worth success. That I'm worthy of it. This is 18 days of all the affirmations that you've seen. And we know that success leaves clues, right? But why do some of us ignore the clues? Well, I don't understand. So this is what we did. We put all of you in an accountability group with coaches. And coaches are posting things in the picture, in the group. I'm posting pictures in the group. And you know what? It's hard for me to get people to mimic me. I'm not sure why. I'm putting up meals. I'm saying, this is what I'm doing. This is what I did. And you continue to do the things that you want to do, right? And look how it's been working for you for the last couple years. You're still doing things your way. But you have an example You have a professional accountability partner. Listen, you even have, look, someone that you pay, right? Pay to guide you, and you're ignoring the guidance. So when I was in school, I never went to school and went to class and said, you know what? I'm not going to pay attention to the example that the teacher puts on the board, and I'm not going to pay attention to the example that's in the book, and I'm not going to pay attention to the answer to the example in the back of the book. I'm just going to do it my way. Think about that real quick, y'all. Because if you didn't do it right with the piece of paper that validates you today, you know, that title thing that we talked about, because we talked about fulfillment, but fulfillment wasn't yours. Fulfillment was mine. Some of you need a piece of paper, right? So right there, if you need a piece, so since I don't hand you a piece of paper to say that you succeeded or you failed in this right here, then your reticular activating system, your neuroassociative conditioning, it doesn't allow you to do the things that you did when you were successful in school. It doesn't allow you to do it here. Ah, man, it's just too deep for some people here. Since I can't give you a letter, right, with a piece of paper and put it in a plaque and something like that, you can't show it off to all your friends and put it on your wall. Since I can't give you nothing like that, then it's hard for you to follow the example that we actually put up. I'm watching your food. I'm watching your stuff. I got proof. So if I go through my damn timeline right now on my group feed, people are still putting in such and such and such and such. And it's cool because you act like that's all you know. Or you act like I told you that one time before. And I have. But guess what? Some days it's going to take something different. It's going to take some new stuff. And I'm giving you new recipes, right? I'm even putting out videos that say lists. And I put that picture up and it said low intensity, steady state cardio. But a lot of y'all missed the fact where I said I was having an insulin sensitivity issue. And I'm not telling you that I got diabetes. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you that every time I fucking eat, it's just going to my body and it's storing as fat. And most of us on this call are having that problem. And I told you I solved that problem with 18 pounds gone. Look, did you see that body fat? I gone in 18 days. And I told you my number one secret of how I did it. But some of you don't want to be uncomfortable enough, right, to make it a must that you go outside and walk on an empty stomach, fasted. Some of you won't come back in and then eat. Some of you won't come back in and eat every 3 hours, right? Now, if you got a fireplace at home, you want to keep warm, and it's your only means of keeping warm, before the fire goes out, you'll put some more wood on it to ensure that the fire keeps burning, that the furnace keeps burning. Well, I'm here to tell you your body can operate as a fat burning furnace if you keep putting wood on the fire. Like, the wood is the food you have to eat to fix your metabolism. You also have to do certain things like do the low intensity, steady state cardio, not just when you want to do it, not just after the workout, but on an empty stomach when you're fasted. And you can't do the hit on an empty stomach. So a lot of y'all waking up for the 5 o'clock class, you're doing the hit on the empty stomach, and it's totally all the way wrong. Pay attention. And in my group, I'm saying, yo, y'all, here's my pre-workout. In my pre-workout, I'm eating an orange and a half an avocado. I'm eating that for my pre-workout to make sure I got something fast and to make sure I got something that's going to take a little longer to get me through those hard ass 40 seconds worth of exercise, right? But you still waking up and you're doing the hit on nothing. So I'm going to give you those secrets later on, but the 20-80 rule is critical, y'all. And I need you to ask your coach questions, ask your mentor questions, because you have goals on this piece of paper, y'all. We said 20% of the right work is going to be critical to you achieving 80% of the results. and not doing rework. 95% of society does rework. 95% of society doesn't write their goals down. They're not going to achieve their goals. Only 5% of society writes down their goals, y'all. But listen, only half of that five are going to actually achieve them because some of them are going to do the Pareto principle. Now, if you still don't have your goals written down, then I'm telling you right now, you're way behind schedule. All right. You got a guy like me that's in the same field, that's in your field, and he or she is doing the stuff that I'm telling you. And you may not believe it's true, but guess what? This shit don't happen to me by luck. All right. Yo, I was created by the same person you were created by. Ain't no way I'm more blessed than everybody else. You know why I'm more blessed? Huh? Because he trusts me with the things, look, the few, the little things, the 20% that I do that you won't do. So he said, since you won't do it, then I'm going to give it to such and such. You know what I'm talking about? You guys know what I'm talking about. A lot of you are managers, you run companies, and some of the critical tasks, you don't give them to certain people. You only give them to people that you know are trustworthy. You know that you can rely on. You know that's going to get it done. And all of a sudden, that person keeps getting all the increase. Huh? Faithful over few. I don't think y'all understand what few, because we talk about 20%, the right word. Faithful over few, right? Before it gets to that, it's you. The few is you. All right. And some of you won't keep it real with you, so you won't be faithful with you. But faithful means you got to have the corresponding actions. You hear what I said? The corresponding actions. And today we told you that those actions got to be taken when? Daily, y'all. The few is you, y'all. Look, the few is you. The day is one. It's one day. Every day you use your power, which is your choice, right? To strengthen you, which is the few. And the more you strengthen you, the more creator gives you a platform, right? He gives you more followers. He gives you more people that listen to you, more people that talk to you. He gives you more clients. He gives you a better position, right? When you're faithful over the work that you had to do to become the new you. And once you become the new you, you add more value. You add more value. Before you add more value to the community, then you had to add value to one entity, which was you. Yeah, y'all heard what I said, man. The stuff be too deep sometimes. You hear what I'm saying? So what I want to do now is I want to take a few questions on this week's stuff. And I also, if it's not a question, what I want to do is I want to hear how some of these things have worked for you since you've been doing them. Now, my group is lit. All right. The Transformers are lit. On Friday, I asked my entire, usually Friday, what we do is we disengage. All right. Friday, we disengage because we want to go back to the old us. Thank God it's Friday. I'm going to go out here and smoke, joke, play games, and all that other dumb shit. All right. But I asked my group a question, right? I said, does anybody have any type of success this week or some type of fulfillment from the things that they've been doing, from the things that they've been becoming? Although I asked them all that, and my entire group started to reel off some certain stuff, right? And it started to create a certain synergy in the group where if they didn't have nothing, then they had to start thinking about those actions they've been doing daily and why they don't have fulfillment. You hear what I'm saying? Because after 2 weeks, sometimes you don't see weight loss. After 2 weeks, sometimes you don't see increase. After 2 weeks, but you can have a feeling. It only take a split second to get a feeling, right? And if you know what that feeling is, right, then you'll be able to tell it when you see it. Oh, man. Somebody drop something in the comments for me, man. Tell me how it's worked for them this week. All right, for me, it's worked a number of different ways. I've been fulfilled on a couple different levels. All right. One, I did a speech this week, Thursday. Mark Walker, Congressman Mark Walker had an event, and it was called Bridging the Gap. All right. And he had a panel. And on this panel, it was Pastor Dion Clark. It was the chief of police. It was the sheriff, all right, Guilford County. It was the mayor, right? And it was the congressman. They were all on the panel. And I was awarded the opportunity, and I had the pleasure of of giving the closing speech at this place. So I built up enough value with the congressman for him to let me leave the words to close out with, right? And there were a bunch of pastors there, like of like big churches. The event was held at the Westover Church. You guys ever heard of that? It's super huge. I was like, what the heck? And I forgot I was at the church, but it was so big. I was like, oh my goodness, this joint swallows up the joint the MTCBC. I'm like, what? This joint is huge. So I'm like, all right, I like this. So I'm in the joint, and everything that I've done leading up to this, the result of me cultivating my skills and my ability and my character has allowed me to build up enough value to actually be the person that gives this word to other leaders of the community. I mean, huge, like big congregations and stuff like that. And you know what I told them? I told these pastors that we change topics too much. I said, one of the problems is we're changing topics too much in our sermons. We go from week to week. Last week ain't had nothing to do with the week before that. And how are people ever going to retain it? I simply told them it takes repetition to make something a part of your subconscious mind, man. 300 repetitions to make a new motor skill. It takes 300 hours for audio listening to get an advanced level, equivalent of advanced level college degree. It takes 300 instances to make a habit, man. So, why are we only doing 1 week worth for the sermon? Don't make no sense. And it don't make no sense why a gym got more life transformations than the church. I want y'all to think about that stuff. See, since we know what the Pareto principle is, since we know what goals are, since we get you define something, I don't just give you a parable. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't just give you a parable, because sometimes you can't even relate to the parable. So if you can't relate, right, then you can't communicate. If there's no connection, you can't communicate. And I know that we call ourselves this and we do all that, we say all this and we go through the song and dance routine. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to do. You hear what I said? I want you to do. And the difference between AWOL and everybody else out there, all these motivational speakers and everybody else that claim that they do this, right, is they don't teach you how to do it. They don't explain to you what it takes to actually get from where you are to where you want to be. So it's turned into a fallacy. It's turned into something where, I'm just going to come in and entertain y'all from week to week. Yo, I ain't here for entertainment. I'm not a clown. This is not a circus. Like, you're not paying me for entertainment. So I actually get up mad when you don't follow the example. You hear what I said? I actually get upset when you don't see the example actually working, because I'm real. Because I'm real with what I do and real with what I spit. So this is real to me. You understand what I'm saying? And I've been put here so that I can help get transformations. Did that make sense? All right, y'all. So you got that covered. I see that it didn't affect anybody else in their life. So let me tell you how it affected me again. On a physical level, this is what it did for me. On a physical level, I wake up every day and say, something has to die in order for something to live. All right. And when I say something has to die in order for something to live, I have to realize that I have to kill a piece of the old me every single day. So it makes it harder for me to go back to being the old me. I don't want the old me around. Some of y'all are cool with the old me because every weekend you hang out with the old me. Like, you let the old me take over and the old me has his way. You must be cool with that shit. I'm all right with that. But miss me with the old me, because I can actually, it's painful. The old me was painful, y'all. So it's a must that I kill a piece of that. That what I told you the secret to change was, the first thing was building the new, right? I also said success secret number 1 was making pain and change a must. You hear what I said? Make change a must and link enough pain to it. So I linked enough pain to this cat right here. I don't know if y'all linked enough pain to y'all. Y'all might not have no documentation, right? You see that? Y'all might not have that. All right, but that's who the old me was. So I'm reminded. You hear what I said? Some of y'all ain't got no reminders because you can't keep it real. And they kept it real with me for me. That was dope. I appreciate all the people. I appreciate the people who ran it as a newspaper and news. I appreciate all that stuff. So I can always go back and say, that's the bad guy. That's the guy I got to kill. That's the guy I don't never want to show up again. So on the weekend, I said, I have to make it harder for me to go back. All those are pieces of the old me. You hear what I said? They're all pieces. And I'm not saying that I'm not going to eat pizza again. I'm not saying that I'm not going to do this, that, and the third again. But hey, the more I kill a piece of the old me, the more chance I got of the new me to live, to survive, to grow, and to grow into what I know I was put here to be. Yo. So I ain't sure, how it happened and what it did for you in your life, but my life, right? My life is real. And I take it, look, I take it like that. I actually life, right? And I say, damn. And if you don't do it, then won't nobody do it. That's responsibility. Yo, I don't look at it like, yo, these people come to AWOL and they pay me. I don't look at it like that. I look at it like, yo, I really don't want your money if you're not coming here to do what you were supposed to do. Because you're wasting our time. You're wasting our coaches' time because they could be telling somebody else what to do, when to do, how to do it, and why to do it, right? Why you do this. Some of y'all still ain't wake up. You still ain't go through the joint. Some of y'all still ain't eating at the right time. You still don't want to eat. This is what's going on. Somebody said, Sharissa Peterson said, my entire family approached me and said, you are motivating. You've stuck to your goals. You stuck to your goals that you set. No takeout. You said you cooked and you prepped your meals. You worked out every day. We're so proud of you. My friends noticed a difference in my appearance before I did. Lists have been great and it works. She lost 3 pounds this week. Shout out to the Platinum Squad. Food is a challenge, but she. Now I'm gonna ask you this, Sharissa. I gave you on your onboarding call. I gave you a. I'll get to Katina in a second. I gave you a after workout drink because you were doing a lot, right? And I want to know, have you been doing that? Because I spent time on an onboarding call giving you a secret, giving you a hack, and I want to know if you've been doing that. Because if you haven't, then okay, I know what to do next time. All right. So Katina Red said every day she listens to Zen, and every day she would hear something different, and she started to believe. Yo, listen, I need y'all to go into Zen on the website, on the membership site. And in Zen, there are meditations. All right. And these guided meditations are giving you an impeccable word that you need to feed your brain and your subconscious mind. All right. I'm going to do a talk on feeding time, y'all, and how important it is to feed your mind, body, and spirit at the right time with the right stuff so you can get the right results, y'all. And I'm talking about optimal results. Your body is primed to build muscle at a certain time, so you got to eat right and the right things at a certain time. But you can also reprogram and deprogram your subconscious mind by feeding it the right stuff at the right time, y'all. You hear what I said? I'm going to do a talk called Feeding Time, man. And I'm telling you, if you can do the words that I'm going to give, the information, the revelation, if you can apply it, have the application, then you can really see, you can get motivated, you can have some motivation, but you can get a transformation, y'all. And that's all it's about. All right. Who else we got here? Can you help? Deja is not our tech. We'll get you squared away. All right. So I can't do that right now. I got shit going on. Yo, y'all, thanks for joining us this week. Listen, man, check it out. Every week, we're going to recap our week and we're going to talk about our success secret. So we have a success secret every week We gave you success secret number 1, which was making change a must. All right. And then we also talked about success secret number 2, which was 20/80 rule. So once we make change a must, then what we're going to do is figure out how to do the right work so we can accelerate our results and get 80% of the stuff that we actually came for, man, out of 20% of the right work, y'all. Yo, listen, every week, I need y'all to check it out. The membership site is coming together. I know you guys, got questions. I know you're getting it together, but I need you to listen to your coaches, y'all. Yo, this is the first time you ever had an accountability coach. This is the first time you ever had yoga, stretching, that the stuff is coming. This is the first time some of you had strength training classes. This is the first time that you had an exercise library to go back and check your form and things like that. This is the first time you had a lot of these different things, and it came through a crisis. It came through a pandemic. It came through us realizing that, yo, we had to do something different to get something different. It came through us working these principles, right? And so that we can have the process of manifestation really come to life. So I can't wait until we get into, some of this, get a little deeper in here, because I know that this is going to change some lives, and I really can't wait, man. Yo, listen, it's a great day to do great things with great people. And guess what? The day isn't over yet, y'all. All right. If you learned something today, then I want you to go apply it tomorrow. I actually had to write some stuff. I don't even talk about that. I wrote an art section. I did an article this weekend with the big publication, and I also did. I had to write something about multitasking. I had to write something about multitasking, man. I had to get the science behind it, because everything we do at AWOL, it's backed by science and it's proven with results. All right, you hear what I said? Everything that we do is backed by science. This 20/80 rule is science. All right, it started in economics, and then they used it in planting gardens and growing crops and all that different type of stuff. And then all of a sudden, people are using it to cultivate new habits and bring stuff together in their life, y'all. Yo, look, everything we do is backed by science and it's proven by results. You can't go to no gym in the world. You can't go to no other whatever in the world and find some real live stuff that's going to start, right, with the mind. It's going to start with the brain. But the word says true transformation can't happen without a renewal of the mind, all right? And this is the serious stuff right here, because if you don't have this, then you're going to conform to Doritos. You're going to conform to the weekend. You're going to conform to the old you, right? That's the world. You hear what I said? The world translates to a word called cosmos, and cosmos means systems. So, so I'm just telling you that, you're going to conform to different systems, right? And they're going to be somebody else's system. But if you can have a renewal of the mind and transform, then guess what you can do? You can create your own systems. You can develop the 20/80 rule, which is a success secret, y'all. So listen, transform by renewal of the mind. You hear what I said? Be not conformed to this world, but transformed by the renewal of the mind, y'all. Yo, I'm going to talk to y'all on the next one. Coach Lynch, AWOL Fitness. Shout out to all the squads in the building. Who else? Platinum Squad. Shout out to the Larsons. Shout out to Cody Starks and his crew. Shout out to Alex and his crew. Shout out to the Cobras and his crew. Shout out to the Transformers. Yo, shout out to the whole AWOL squad. We appreciate y'all, yo. Deja, we got your we have your problem. We'll figure it out. We'll get you going. All right. I'll get on a call with you in a couple minutes, because I know Alex is a little slow. So we'll get it together. All right, y'all. I'll holler at y'all on the next one. Y'all love, peace, and prosperity. We'll see y'all on the next one, y'all. Let's keep growing up and keep growing out, y'all. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.